Welcome back to another rebuild here on NBA 2K24 Next Gen. And in today's video, we have the Atlanta Hawks. And so obviously with this Atlanta Hawks team, we have a pretty talented backcourt with Trae Young and DeJounte Murray. The main core of this Hawks team really hasn't changed too much over these past few seasons. Obviously this offseason they went ahead, moved John Collins to the Utah Jazz. But other than that, the main pieces are still intact here. So this is a Hawks team really just never been able to get over that hump, excluding maybe that 2021 Eastern Conference Finals run. So obviously our goal today, make a few changes with this group and see if we can maybe bring Atlanta a championship. And finally, as always, let me know any other video ideas down below in the comments section. We are obviously going to be doing every single team. We just have to get to them. If you guys want me to rebuild your favorite team, let me know down below. And yeah, man, other than that, obviously looking ahead, a couple weeks from now, we're going to have some NBA basketball back in our lives. I know we're all excited for that. So, yeah, man, Hawks, obviously an interesting team. Always a real threat to kind of just go off, especially offensively. But this team definitely has some flaws. We're going to adjust those today. Let's get into it. All right, we're finally loaded into 2K. Let's go ahead and dive into this Hawks roster. We'll talk about some of the good, some of the bad, and some of the ugly. So, starting out at the point guard spot, Trae Young, obviously the best player in this team, recently came out, said he thinks he's one of the most disrespected players in all of basketball. And while I think part of that is definitely true, Trae Young has to really emerge himself as a true superstar in this league if he really wants to be up and playing with the big boys. So Trae Young is very good, do not get me wrong, and maybe one day he hits that superstar status. Maybe he doesn't. Right now he's a star. He's not a number one on a championship team. I hate to be the bearer of bad news, just the reality of the situation. So I like Trae Young. He's not going to be going anywhere today. Obviously kind of the franchise player right now. Our goal is to put the right pieces around him, so we will see. Patty Mills is here. He's a good veteran option, I guess, especially kind of locker room guy. Maybe can teach Trae Young a few things. Probably not a long-term backup point guard option for us. Shooting guard, DeJounte Murray here. Obviously had his first season with Atlanta last year. And again, I think he kind of fit in. It was an interesting fit for me. I think DeJounte Murray's maybe more of a point guard than he is a shooting guard, but in today's NBA, it really probably doesn't matter as much. But obviously got some good size there at 6'5". And we're going to see. He's a solid defensive player as well. We're going to see. Bogdan Bogdanovic is here. Actually performs pretty well. Locked up on a 3-year deal. Weirdly enough, regresses a little bit. So that's definitely something we're going to have to keep our eye on today. Definitely do not want that happening. Kobe Buffkin's here. I'm probably butchering the pronunciation. He was the 15th overall pick in the 2023 NBA draft. There's definitely a possibility I maybe move him to the point guard spot and let him back up Trae Young for year one. Wesley Matthews, probably just another depth guy, good veteran presence, locker room guy, everything like that. Probably not going to see a ton of playing time in today's video. Small forward spot, DeAndre Hunter and AJ Griffin. Both definitely have some potential. Obviously a 5-year age difference. DeAndre Hunter was the 4th overall pick back in 2019. And again, just diving into these numbers, maybe not exactly what you expect out of a 4th overall pick. It is what it is. We're going to, see if he can develop a little bit, see if he can stay as our starter on a championship hopeful team eventually, because that's what we're building towards. And then AJ Griffin was number 16 overall in 2022. So it wasn't a terrible rookie season. We're going to see if we can have him progress pretty well, be a key bench piece for us. Obviously, the power forward spot looking a little bit different now that John Collins is officially no longer a member of Atlanta. Obviously, his name was floating around in trade rumors. Felt like for a couple of years at that point. And they finally went ahead, pulled the trigger this offseason, and he is officially in Utah. So our options we're left with in terms of playable players is going to be Sadiq Bey and Jalen Johnson. Again, 24 and 21 years old, respectively, 78 and 75. So we're going to see what we can do with these guys. I'm not necessarily saying they can't be a starter for us long-term, but we'll see. And then Mohamed Guy is here as well. I'm probably just doing terrible with the pronunciation, but second-round pick, maybe see some playing time if he develops. Center spot's an interesting one. Clint Capella is sneakily pushing 30, and I kind of didn't even realize how long this guy's been in the league. And for me, I mean, if he's 30 and he continues to play well, I'll probably end up keeping him. But we have Onyeka Okongwu here, who, if you guys remember back to like 2K23, 2K22, he actually progresses really, really well. So we're going to have to kind of go on a year-to-year basis with our center spot. Bruno Fernando is here, and then Chris Silva as well. So definitely a trade or two coming. Might have to improve some depth a little bit, but nothing major, at least for year one. Our first and potentially only trade is going to be coming here with the Cleveland Cavaliers. We're going to be sending them Bruno Fernando, Patty Mills. We're going to be picking up Ricky Rubio and Damian Jones. Obviously, Ricky Rubio is an upgrade at the backup point guard spot. He's only 2 years younger than Patty Mills, so it's probably not a long-term option, but for year one, he's a plug-and-play guy and is on a multi-year deal. And we don't actually give up any draft picks as well, so that feels like a home run for me. And then Fernando's in this deal. I don't need 3 centers. It just really doesn't feel necessary. So I know I mentioned the possibility of maybe having Kobe Buffkin be the backup point guard. Move him to a point guard. He actually goes down to a 71. So he's going to be in the G League year one anyways. Maybe I'll move him back to shooting guard. I don't really have a big preference right now. But Rubio is going to be backing up Trae Young here for the first season. And then other than that, I mean, I don't really have anything major. Can I send Muhammad Guy down to the G League again? Probably just doing terrible with the pronunciation there. I actually wouldn't mind if I could maybe get a draft pick for Wes Matthews. I mean, again, obviously in real life, it's a little bit more important to have depth in veterans than it is here in 2K. Oh, man, I'm not really seeing much. All right, we're not going to get anything. Let's go ahead and set the rotation. After one trade, we have finalized the rotation here for us in Atlanta. There's really no major surprises. I think everything's kind of on par with what I assumed it was going to be when we did kick off this video. So Trae Young, DeJounte Murray, DeAndre Hunter, Sadiq Bey, and Clint Capella. I think that's likely going to be the starting five for Atlanta in real life. It's what we're going with here in 2K today. Bogdanovic going to be the sixth man off the bench. Sure, Okongwu maybe has a little bit more potential and is higher overall. As I'm sure many of you know, I don't typically like traditional big man as sixth man. So Bogey's going to take it. Okongwu's playing 2 less minutes. Not a terrible big deal. AJ Griffin behind him, Jalen Johnson, and then Ricky Rubio. So again, the depth is actually relatively decent. It's just the matter of do we have enough stars to be a serious threat in an Eastern Conference with 2 really good teams in the Milwaukee Bucks and the Boston Celtics. Obviously, other contenders in the Miami Heat, the Philadelphia 76ers, New York Knicks, even if you want to throw them in there. There are a lot of good teams in the East. So definitely something to keep an eye on, but I do like this squad. I'm excited to see how year one goes, and I will see you guys at the end of it. Year one is over, and we go 47-35. Not a crazy, unrealistic record for kind of what I was expecting this season, and it's definitely a really good building block to work on. So Nikola Jokic is your MVP. Triple-double, absolutely insane. Victor Wembanyama, Chris Paul, Giannis. I can just guess these awards at this point because they're like the same thing every single year. I'm not trying to disrespect Julius Randle. He's very good in the regular season, especially. Was an All-NBA third-team member last year. I think third team, right? Wasn't second, was it? Whatever. Nick Nurse is your coach of the year. So, all right, let's just dive into it. Obviously, with that, I cannot fucking speak today. Obviously, with 47 wins, we're a playoff team. We are the 4 seed here. We actually have Chicago in round 1. Going to be an interesting first-round matchup. All right, here's a look at the Western Conference. Feel free to pause if you wish. And then in terms of the numbers on the year, let's see who played well. Trae Young, damn near 30-10 on the year. I mean, that is just absolutely insane. It was 52% from the field. What did he shoot from 3? Almost 43% from 3. That is terrific. All right, DeJounte Murray, Sadiq Bey. So, yeah, I mean, here's the kind of the real issue. I mean, obviously, this is good, Murray and Young. I just really think we kind of need a third guy that can score the ball at an elite level. So, obviously, we don't have that exactly on our team right now. It is definitely something we can work upon. Clint Capella almost averaged 13 boards a game, and Trae Young, as I mentioned, it was double digits in assists. So, as I mentioned, again, I know I just said that, we do have Chicago here in round 1. Let's take a look at their roster. Lonzo Ball, obviously playing with injuries off, helps the Bulls out tremendously. Kobe White, Zach LaVine, DeMar DeRozan, Alex Caruso. I just skipped over Vucevic, Alex Caruso, Patrick Williams, Andre Drummond. All right, let's go game by game here with the Bulls. I think we're probably the better team. I think we have the best player in the series. And we're 2-2 right now. We go down 3-2, and we get bounced in the first round in 6. Obviously, as a 4 versus 5 matchup, it's not like it's crazy favored either way most of the time, but still sucks losing year 1. All right, so round 1, not year 1. We're going to have a 76ers and a Warriors finals, and Chris Paul finally gets a ring. Steph Curry out here doing charity work. You love to see it. All right, it is time for offseason number 1. Got a bunch of guys that ended up retiring there in terms of staff. Popovich calls it, and then draft lottery. I actually saw a Hawks logo. I'm not sure that's I almost said Clippers. That's a Kings pick. I'm not sure what the protections are on that, but it'd be nice if we had a good pick. No, it sits right there at 12, so obviously we don't have it, which means we do have the Kings pick next year, which will be nice. All right, up to the draft. You have Quinn Snyder here. He actually has a relatively really good rating, so probably not going to be going anywhere. I mean, again, if I put a much better product on the court than what we had this past season for next year, and we still suck or don't go far enough in the playoffs, could look to move on at that point. But he's going to be here for now. Let's head up to the draft. So, yeah, we should have our own first. We do. It's at number 21. That'll be our only pick in this year's draft. Definitely a couple different avenues we can go with this draft pick, so hang with me. Okay, we just pulled off a big trade with the New York Knicks. It was a very big one, and honestly, I was confused that it went through. I didn't think it was going to. I don't know why this game just doesn't show you the full trade this year. It's really annoying, but you can see the 3 players involved there. That's Ricky Rubio on the end. And then it was our number 21 overall pick this year, a first in 2028, and a future second-round pick. But we picked up Julius Randle. Obviously funny to think about the hypothetical idea of the Atlanta Hawks and the New York Knicks making a trade. they're not big fans of each other. Trae Young kind of went in and owned MSG a few times. So obviously good to have Julius Randle here. It's not saying there was a problem with Saddiq Bey or Jalen Johnson, but we were looking for an upgrade somewhere in the starting five. Julius Randle's definitely going to come in and be that. He just won Clutch Player of the Year, by the way. So obviously we don't have our draft pick anymore, which is fine by me. AJ Griffin will be coming back on that team option. Saddiq Bey and Okongwu definitely going to be getting qualified. So obviously now moving on from Clint Capella, kind of gives the keys to that center spot over to Onyeka Okongwu, which again, I'm thinking he's probably the better long-term option anyways. I mean, he's 23 years old. Definitely wants a hefty deal here, but I think it's going to be worth it. So also we have to keep an eye on Saddiq Bey. We obviously don't have bird rights on him, as you saw right there. So I'd like to retain him. I don't want him to just leave for nothing. But obviously you have to see if 2K lets me pay him or not. So let's go and see. And does not appear they're going to let me, which is a little bit unfortunate here. He's right here, and yeah, no, we just don't have the funds to do it. So Saddiq Bey's gone. I guess I'm very glad we made the Julius Randle trade because obviously we'd be hurting a little bit at that power forward spot. But Jalen Johnson's still going to remain the backup here behind Randle. We do need to find ourselves a new backup center. AJ Griffin, DeAndre Hunter, I'm going to give one more year as kind of our small forward duo, and if it's still not working out, we'll go from there at that point. Bogey's going to regress. I know that for a fact. I'm a little nervous. I almost want to sell high, but I just don't know if we're going to find a clear-cut upgrade there. And then Kobe Buffkin's definitely somebody to keep an eye on. If he progresses, I think maybe there's a case to have him back up Trae Young. I mean, again, whoever's backing up Trae Young, likely 10, 12 minutes a night, not going to be super big deal, but definitely something, especially if I want to contend, I got to keep an eye on. So I'm going to look at a bogey trade. I'm going to explore it. And again, I'm not saying he played poorly or anything. Again, borderline 80 overall. But when I almost know for a fact that he's going to regress, I think I'd rather capitalize on that. So like even bringing in somebody like Brandon Clark could be our new backup center. And as you saw, we actually have a little bit of money in free agency as well. We can go sign a new backup shooting guard. So I'm definitely considering a Brandon Clark deal. I don't necessarily think that would be the worst trade in the world. I actually think it would help us quite a bit. I'm not really seeing anything that I like over that. So I'm thinking I'm going to do it. Naz Reid, but I don't want to give up a first. I have limited draft assets as it is. I'm not going to give up a first-round pick. So we're going to do a one-for-one swap here with the Memphis Grizzlies. Bogdanovic for Brandon Clark. He's going to be backing up on Onyeka Okongwu. I think it's a good deal for us. And again, looking at the shooting guard options, we definitely have some viable options here. I think DeAnthony Melton's probably my guy, just looking at what I can see available right now. Taylor Horton-Tucker could be an option. I mean, it's 6'4", definitely has the size. I'm going to go with DeAnthony Melton. I'm going to take DeAnthony Melton. Hopefully welcome anyways, welcome to Atlanta. So excited to have him here, obviously going ahead and replacing Bogey. I'm going to take the risk and hope that Kobe Buffkin can develop a little bit, maybe to like a 74, 75 overall and back up Trae Young. Other than that, we're basically all set, so I'll see you guys at the start of year 2. After getting bounced in round 1 last year, we decided that this core was not good enough. We made a major trade, adding Julius Randle as our new starting power forward. We have a little bit of development on some guys, and I'm feeling good here for year 2. So Trae Young, actually, I think went down in overall. What is this 2K logic? DeJounte Murray, DeAndre Hunter, Julius Randle, newly acquired, and Onyeka Okongwu, who is now the same overall as Clint Capella. I think, again, this trade makes a lot of sense for us. I'm happy that I did make it. DeAnthony Melton gave me my new 6-man off the bench, followed by AJ Griffin. Brandon Clark, newly acquired as our backup center, Jalen Johnson, and Kobe Buffkin. So it is a pretty solid overall rotation, 1 through 10. Again, I'm a little bit nervous at Kobe Buffkin being our backup point guard, but Trae Young should hopefully carry the majority of the minutes for us. So excited to see what ends up happening here in year 2. I think this team is very, very good. I'll see you guys at the end of the year. Back-to-back MVPs for Nikola Jokic. It is almost another triple-double. So close, but yet so far. We won 54 games this year. So what is that? A 7-game improvement from last year, which obviously is great. And I think 54 wins is a fine regular season record. I am just a little bit nervous about the playoffs. So we'll see. Isaiah Collier's Rookie of the Year. He is in Charlotte. Is he backing up LaMelo Ball? Interesting. Chris Paul, 6-man of the Year. Giannis is your D-boy. And Onyeka Okongwu actually wins Most Improved. You truly do love to see it. I mean, those stats are not much different from Clint Capella. Again, I think we made the right decision with who to go with as our center. Zion Williamson, Clutch Player of the Year. See what happens when you play with injuries off. And Coach of the Year goes to JB Bickerstaff. So let's take a look at the standings right now in the Eastern Conference. We are the 2 seed. So look at the Wizards. Okay, what the fuck? I'm not trying to be mean. There's just no way that's a 50-win team. All right, there's a look at the East. Here's a look at the West. Feel free to pause if you wish, and let's just go dive in to the player's stats. All right, Trae Young, Julius Randle was the kind of that third scoring option we were looking for. About 20 points a game, 9.5, almost 10 boards, 4.5 assists. Very well-rounded season for Mr. Randle. DeJounte Murray, DeAndre Hunter, Onyeka Okongwu, Griffin, Melton, Bufkin, Clark, Jalen Johnson. Rebounds, it was going to be Onyeka Okongwu, obviously, and assists was Trae Young. Almost up another whole assist, almost. All right, so we are facing a play-in team. Who's it going to be? It's going to be the 7-seeded Pacers. We actually got lucky because the Cavs got the Bucks. But, yeah, let's take a look at the Pacers. Halliburton, Ben Mathurin, Jarris Walker. Oh, Pascal Siakam and Miles Turner. I like that addition. I do. All right, let's get through this series right now with Indiana. We are currently down 2-1. We go 2-2 with them. We go up 3-2, and we win in 6. Good. All right, moving on to the Wizards. We obviously already took a look at this Wizards team. They've changed up the starting 5 because I think Jordan Poole was playing point guard before. But, yeah, it's interesting. I mean, good for you for winning a playoff series and sweeping a playoff series. But there's no way that team is competing with us. All right, the 63-win Cavs are going to be our opponent here in the Eastern Conference Finals. Obviously, we know what this roster looks like 1 through 5. Added Cole Anthony, Max Drew still here, Karis LeVert, Bruno Fernando, our old friend. And let's just see, can we maybe pull off an upset? I think it would be an upset. We're down 2-1 at this point. We tie it up 2-2. We go down 3-2, and we're going to Game 7. Game 7, Eastern Conference Finals. Can we pull it off? Oh my God, we did. Holy shit. And we were in the finals in year 2, and we're going to be taking on the defending champs. Steph Curry, as I'm sure you saw, won it all last year. You got Chris Paul a ring. That's obviously always good. And they have our old friend John Collins. Bit of a revenge series, I'm assuming, for John Collins, but a very, very good bench here for Golden State. So let's go game by game with the Warriors right now. We win Game 1. We win Game 2. We go down, or excuse me, up 2-1. We go up 3-1. We're going back to Golden State here for Game 5. Can we close them out on their home floor and capture our first championship of this video? That would obviously be great, and I would definitely like that. We got to hold on to a lead here, though, and oh my God, we blew it. We fucking choked. Just, I mean, what are we doing, right? God, we had it and just blew it. All right, we're going back here to Atlanta for Game 6. This has got to be it. We cannot go back to Golden State for Game 7, and I mean, what are we doing here? Okay, hang with me. Can we stop choking, please? Oh my God. All right, I'll do my best. I'll see you guys in there. Most of the time when I hop in, we have a big lead in the series. The game's pretty much already over. This time is a little bit different. We are not winning. We are down 3, and Trae Young's not even in the fucking game. Why would that ever be a situation like that? DeJounte Murray gets it to go. Holy shit. Like, just explain to me a situation that the Anthony Melton, I mean, maybe they're targeting him on. No, put the starters back in the fucking game. Holy shit. On-ball defense against Steph Curry is not exactly my forte. I'm just getting cooked. I'm getting cooked. And I only have 1 timeout. I got to be picky with what I use for my timeout. So, oh man, D'Anthony Melton. All right, I'm going to try to do something a little stupid here. We're going to run a floppy. This is where I need Trae Young. It's going to be DeJounte Murray. Murray! It's a 3, and we are knotted at 1:12, 50 seconds left to go here in Atlanta. I'm playing off-ball D. I'm going to be a world-class scumbag right now because I do not want to guard Steph Curry one-on-one, and honestly, you can't really blame me for that. So Chris Paul over there working as well. Come on, Chris Paul's good with that mid-range jumper. God damn it. I'm still not using the timeout. I think there's another situation where it could be beneficial. DeJounte Murray going to come up here. And Steph Curry's going to meet him at half court. Blow by him. Murray. Foul. And 1. Oh, my God. DeJounte Murray. Oh, my God. Now, hang with me. I actually think I don't want Trae Young to come in. I don't. Shit. They might automatically put him in anyways. Well, we only have 1 free throw. And no, they didn't put him in the game. Okay. That's good. Because we have a lead. Or, well, we didn't, but now we do. We had a lead, and I don't want Trae Young to get picked apart on defense. So now if they score, I'll use my timeout. I'll obviously throw Trae Young back in. Actually, they're going to go ahead and take a timeout, so if I want to do it now, I could, which I don't think I'm going to. I don't think it makes much sense. I think we got to leave Melton in because, again, no matter who's out there with... I mean, what does the defensive lineup look like? Yeah, I mean, this is exactly the way I'm going to do it because that makes sense to me. Obviously, we're trying to limit them from scoring. Trae Young is great offensively. He's just not good defensively. So I think we can all agree that's probably the right decision. I'm not saying D'Anthony Melton's some stud, but again, he's going to be better than Trae Young. So I want to deny a ball. I do not want... Well, that did not last long. I'm going to try to not... Curry misses. Get a rebound. Oh, my God. Oh my God. Holy shit. We are losing it. 8 seconds on the shot clock. Klay Thompson working, not doing much right now. Just kind of holding on to the basketball. And it's blocked. Shot clock violation. Oh my God. Wait, timeout, 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 timeout. I'm taking my timeout. I want to get Trae Young in the game because I want to shoot free throws with him. I'm taking my timeout right now. Thank you. All right, let's go ahead and put Trae Young into the game. This is a situation where it makes sense. I'm very happy we saved that timeout. Not to say DeJounte Murray, can't shoot free throws or anything, but it's good to have the starting lineup in, and now Trae Young can shoot if we want him to. Hopefully he's not inbounding the ball. That would just be historically stupid. Okay, he's not. So Trae Young, there's obviously less than 2 minutes left. We can go in the backcourt here. Let's just go and do this. Oh, well, Jesus, Steph. Yeah. They also don't have any timeouts, so that's definitely something to keep in mind right now. Trae Young's at 35 on the night, so they cannot advance the ball, which is obviously good. It's hopefully going to be a three-point game. First free throw for Young is up. It is good. We just got to make one more, and it's a three-point game. Worst we can do is tie and send to overtime, which, again, hopefully it doesn't happen. But second one up, second one is good as well. So, defensive time. They're obviously going to get a full-court shot off here with Steph. Oh, my God. Holy shit. Holy shit. What a thrilling game that was. We end up winning it all here in year 2, and Trae Young is your finals MVP, proving his doubters wrong. We capture that championship here for Atlanta. Player retirements, Chris Paul. To be fair, Chris Paul did end up with a ring, so you can't blame the man for calling it a career at that point. He is 40. He also enters the Hall of Fame. Jersey retirements, Kyle Lowry's a Hall of Famer. The Basketball Hall of Fame requirements are not very big. All right, draft lottery time. Let's just sim through this. I know we have the Kings pick. It looks like it's actually going to be number 20 right there. That's fine by me. Up to staff signing right now. Quinn Snyder obviously just coached us to a championship. He will not be going anywhere. And up to the draft with that 20th overall selection, I'm thinking I'm probably going to move it. Could look for an upgrade somewhere. I'm not exactly sure where, but we might do that. A lot of our players actually aren't under contract right now, or they have team options or whatever it may be. So we're just going to flip this for 2 future first-round picks. I obviously do not really need to draft anybody, but maybe we could make a trade. Future asset is what it is. So Julius Randle declines. He's going to be entering unrestricted free agency. Obviously, that's something to keep our eye on. Jalen Johnson's going to be entering restricted free agency. And yeah, I mean, at this point, it's just pretty simple. Kind of name of the game, just bring back Julius Randle. And I'm going to pay Jalen Johnson as well because, yeah, I think he's an important piece of this team. So I think I will make an upgrade somewhere. Again, it obviously maybe really isn't necessary because this team just won a championship, but I don't like leaving teams exactly identical for multiple straight years. So I don't know. I think Kobe Buffkin will probably end up progressing a little bit more, but I mean, where else am I making an upgrade? Unless I want to upgrade DeAndre Hunter. I don't know. We're going to try to pick up Scotty Barnes here from the Toronto Raptors. I'm sure it's not a necessary trade, but Scotty Barnes would come in, and he's an overall upgrade. He's not a major upgrade in terms of stats. I mean, he does a few things better, I guess. The three-point shooting really isn't there whatsoever, but then again, neither was DeAndre Hunter. So I'm going to try to make this trade. Buffkin's in the trade. Again, is it a necessary deal? Probably not, but you know what? What the hell? Who cares? It's the final year. We're having fun. So welcome to the team, Scotty Barnes. He's going to be our new starting small forward. And then in terms of a new backup point guard, I mean, these options are not great. So I'm going to be a scumbag. I'm going to be a world-renowned scumbag. I'm going to sign Steven Adams, and then I'm going to include Steven Adams in a trade with Jordan McLaughlin, and along with a draft pick, and we're going to find ourselves a new backup point guard. It wasn't necessary to make that trade, obviously, but you know what? We like to have fun around here. It's the last year. Io's probably going to be my guy. You just saw him right there, and I'm not really... Ooh, Andrew Nembhard is here. Yeah, those numbers don't really excite me. I'm not going to lie. What has Io been doing? Yeah, those are a little bit better. Welcome to the team. All right, we're all set. I'll see you guys at the start of the final year. Fresh off a championship, it is the final year for us here in Atlanta. There was obviously a major change in the starting five. New addition to Scotty Barnes. Was it a necessary trade? Absolutely fucking not. But we want to have fun. We want to change some things up. That's exactly what we did. Trae Young, DeJounte Murray, Scotty Barnes, Julius Randle, Nick Okongwu. Bench unit's now going to be led by AJ Griffin as he has progressed to an 81 overall. DeAnthony Melton's still here. Newly acquired Ayo Dosunmu. I'm excited to see what he kind of provides backing up Trae Young. Brandon Clark's still here, and Jalen Johnson, our 10th and final man. So an exciting team, obviously fresh off a championship. We're looking to go back-to-back. I'll see you guys at the end of the third and final season. We end the last season with our best record yet of 68-14. That is obviously great, and we are looking to be on our way to a second straight championship. Steph Curry at age 38 is averaging 35 points a game and winning another MVP. That's insane. Would that be his third career MVP? I think it would be. Cooper Flagg is in Utah as your Rookie of the Year. Azar Thompson, sixth man. Evan Mobley is your depoy. Alexander Sarr, most improved. All right. I like it. Steph Curry, Clutch Player of the Year. Quinn Snyder, Coach of the Year. It's his first Coach of the Year of this video. And hopefully a second championship coming up soon. So obviously best record here in the East. Clearly the best record in the league. Let's take a look at some player stats in terms of numbers. Here it is. I mean, feel free to pause. And again, it's not like Scotty Barnes is doing anything in the scoring department that was crazy different than what DeAndre Hunter was bringing for us. But he is an overall upgrade. And I'm assuming that's kind of probably why it helped us win 68 games. So it is going to be us and the Charlotte Hornets here in round one. They've added Josh Giddey, Chris Middleton, good veteran. Brandon Miller now coming off the bench. I would just probably play Miller at the 4. He's 6'9", almost 6'10", but that's just me. I think we can win this round relatively easily, and we do. Moving on to the Celtics here in round two. Fred VanVleet is now their starting point guard. They've moved on from Drew Holiday. Obviously got the Jays here. Still got Porzingis, Jalen Duren, Tobias Harris, Nikola Topic. Oh, God. All right, let's take on the Celtics here in round two. I'll say it's safe to say they have the best player, but we have the better team, it looks like. And, okay, do not blow a 3-0 lead. Oh, my God. Thank you. All right, East Finals, taking on the Cavs for the second straight year. This year we do have home court advantage, and they've lost Donovan Mitchell. There's just not a fucking chance they're winning this series. On to the NBA Finals to take on Shai Gilgeous-Alexander and the Oklahoma City Thunder. As you just saw, I mean, they lost Josh Giddey, so, I mean, good for SGA. Miles Turner's here now. Patrick Williams, Lou Dort. Looks like they have a very talented bench. I think we're just a lot better. We're up 3-0. They make it 3-1, and that is all she wrote. That is back-to-back championships. Julius Randle getting the Finals MVP this time. Good for you, Julius. All right, man, that is it for this one. Obviously, bringing 2 championships to Atlanta is great. Trae Young just does not develop or go up in overall in this game. It's mightily strange, but it is what it is. Whatever. He won a Finals MVP and 2 championships. So, yeah, man, I enjoyed this one. This one was a ton of fun. Hopefully, you guys enjoyed watching as well. And, yeah. Let me know any other video ideas down below in the comment section. I've said this in a couple videos before, but I have kind of a lofty goal of attempting to get all of, if not like 95% of the regular rebuilds done before the start of the NBA season. That's really why I haven't dove into like any of the other series that I typically do, you know, the Trading Every Player series or the historic rebuilds or whatever they may be. I will obviously get into it eventually, but I'm trying to get through all the regular rebuilds first. So let me know what team you want to see next. That's kind of what I was trying to say. So that's it for me. As always, thanks so much for watching. I love you guys. I'll catch you guys all in the next one.